Hello everyone, it's Paola and today I'm doing the mid-year book Freakout tag. I know this is usually done in June, but Lucy from Lucy Reads, I will leave her channel and her mid-year book Freakout tag down below so that you can check it out. She said in that video that the actual mid-year day was July 2nd. This video is not even being filmed in July 2nd, but I thought, there's my excuse to post this video in July. So thank you, Lucy, for validating me. The first question is best book you've read so far in 2020. Single-handedly, that has to be On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. This is a YA contemporary book about Brie, who is a teenage girl rapper, and she really wants to be professionally a rapper. Unfortunately, she's dealing with a lot of stuff at home. They're going back on food stamps and she's really scared that her mom might relapse. This book is quite the intense contemporary story, but I loved it. Loved it with every fiber of my being, and I honestly did not think I would end up loving it as much as I did. Question number 2 is what is the best sequel you've read so far in 2020? I've only read one. Unfortunately, it was a very good sequel. It's Never Have I Ever by Sarah Shepard. This is the second installment in the Lying Game series. This is a YA mystery series about a girl whose name is Emma, and she discovers that she has a twin. Her name is Sutton, and she starts getting messages from Sutton saying that she would really like to meet her and stuff like that. So Emma, who is also a foster kid, leaves her foster house and she goes to Arizona, which is where Sutton lives, and she discovers that Sutton has been murdered. She gets this note by the murderer saying that she has to pretend to be Sutton or else something will happen. It is very intense and so gripping. I honestly cannot remember the last time that I was that into a series. It was a very fun read for a while. Third question is what is a new release you haven't read yet but want to? All the books that I've mentioned in my most anticipated releases of the year. I believe I've made one for April, May, and June. The fourth question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I will also have a video for my most anticipated releases for the remainder of the year, so keep an eye out for that. But I think one of my top most anticipated releases is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. I honestly don't even know what this is about, but it's by Tiffany D. Jackson and the cover is incredible, so I don't really need to know anything about the book to be excited about it. The fifth question is what is your biggest disappointment? Sadly, it is 7 Minutes in Heaven by Sarah Shepard. It is the last book in the Lying Game series, and it was just... I cannot even begin to express how poorly the series was ended. So I will leave a link to my March wrap-up down below because that's the month that I finished reading the series. It was just like, for why? That was my reaction when I finished the book. Like, why? The sixth question is biggest surprise. The book that I was least anticipating to love as much as I did was Rebel by Beverly Jenkins. It wasn't anything about the specifics of the book that worried me, like it sounded super interesting. But I was very skeptical of the book because I had never read historical romance and I just was not expecting to love it as much as I did. I expected to enjoy it. I tend to enjoy historical fiction and I love romance, but I was not expecting just how big of a fan of Beverly Jenkins I would become, and now I want to read every single one of her books. The seventh question is favorite new author. This can be a debut author or a new to you author. So for this question, I picked a new to me author, and it is absolutely Beverly Jenkins. Oh my god, what even was Rebel? It was so good, and I know that I will love every single book that she has ever written. Question number 8 is your newest fictional crush. I have two. Drake from Rebel by Beverly Jenkins and James from Guarding Temptation by Talia Hibbert. Oh my god, they both sound so sexy and are described so sexy, and they just know what they're doing, if you know what I mean. I hate to be that sort of coy, like wink wink nudge nudge, because they're romantic heroes, but whoo boy, I just, thinking about them makes me need a cold shower. They're just too good to be true. Question number 9 is, who are your newest favorite characters? I have 3, and they're all from the same novel. They're June, Gigi, and Bet from Tiny Pretty Things, and I love them. They're all pretty messed up. More specifically June and Bet, even more specifically Bet. But that book changed my life in a way I wasn't even expecting it to. The characters, particularly these 3, because they're the main characters, holy shit, it was so good. And they just remind me of a time in my life where it was life or death. There was nothing in between me and my dream, and this book changed my life exactly because of that, because they took me back to me wanting to fight for the thing that I wanted most in my life. And I will forever treasure that book and these characters. I cannot wait to read Shiny Broken Pieces, and I also cannot wait to watch the Netflix adaptation of this. I'm sure it will be splendid. I will leave a link down below to a video that I made about finding out Tiny Pretty Things was becoming a TV show. Question number 10 is a book that made you cry. This is an interesting choice that I made to answer the question. Anyway, it's A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahir Mafi. This is a YA contemporary romance book set in 2002 between a Muslim girl, her name is Shireen, and a white boy whose name is Ocean. And it tugged at my heartstrings in a way I cannot even begin to explain. And every time something like angsty or remotely worrisome that I encountered or that I listened to in that book, because I listened to it on audio, I was just like, my whole heart, and I was just beginning to worry, and I had to sit down to be like, nobody touch me, I need a minute to listen to this book, nobody can even look at me while I'm listening to that book. And towards the end, I was like, oh my god, this book is so good. And when I finished it, I was like, wow, this book really is too good, with tears streaming down my face. It was so good, so good. Please read it if you haven't already. It's so good. Question 11 is a book that made you happy. I have to go with Dark and Deepest Red by Anna Marie McLemore. This is a book that's part magical realism, part historical fiction, all parts queer, as I have loved to describe it in other videos. It is set in both the present and 1815 France. I believe it is 1815. It's in the 1800s. The historical fiction part is because it's set during the Fièvre de la Danse in France, which is a real thing that happened, but it is also a fairy tale retelling of the Red Shoes story by Hans Christian Andersen. It's brilliant and it's very hard to read, but it is a very, very rewarding story. Question number 12 is, what is the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received? The most beautiful book that I've bought this year has to be Haven by Rebecca Weatherspoon. I mean, look at it. Really look at it. Like, it's so pretty. Nothing ever made me want to read a romance book more than this cover, to be honest. Question number 13 is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Oh my god, Shiny Broken Pieces. I have to read it. I have to read it. But also the Devavad trilogy by S.A. Chakraborty. And the reason why I'm chuckling a little is because I started the City of Brass earlier this year and I haven't been able to finish it because I'm a loser. That's literally the reason why I'm a loser. And I haven't been able to prioritize it or really do anything about it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I hate myself a little bit for that. Anyway, the fourth question is, who is your favorite book community member? I seriously cannot answer that question, so I will leave a link down below to a bunch of my favorite book community members, and yeah, you should definitely check out their channels because they are incredible. incredible. So that was the mid-year book Freakout tag. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what is your most favorite book that you've read so far in 2020. And if you haven't already and would like to, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!